Town Hall Academy, Episode 1.
I'm sort of the theory that in order to really have a loyal following, you have to provide a commitment to your particular mission and how you carry yourself, the culture of your business. And therein lies where I think you're going to make everybody do really well.
Welcome, automotive aftermarketers, to a Remarkable Results Radio Town Hall Academy. Listen to learn just one thing from today's episode on your journey to remarkable results.
Welcome, aftermarketers, to the matching audio podcast of the Town Hall Academy video on improving customer loyalty. This is Carm Capriato, your host. Now, as you know, we take a single topic each week with an industry panel and broadcast live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern on my webinar platform and on Facebook. You can learn all about connecting at this URL, remarkableresults.biz/townhall. See the show notes for this Town Hall Academy at remarkableresults.biz/A001. Now, I understand that not everyone has the time to sit in front of a video screen or to be on Facebook. That is the power of podcasting, the digital audio broadcast that's so portable and easy to find. Every video is on my website's learning page or on my YouTube channel, and now you have the additional resource of having the Town Hall in podcast format. And if you have my iOS or Android app, you'll find the Academy episodes right there. Now, I guarantee powerful education in each episode. See, it's your peers who put on this tutoring and share with you their ideas, best practices, and insights into what works for them and where they've had their own success and challenges. Mostly, we are here to spread wisdom and expertise. It's like a documentary, but in simple terms, it's a seminar and transfer of knowledge for you. Now, keep in mind, every guest has offered to present and has the passion for the subject. You now have another powerful resource of educational content inside the Remarkable Results Radio brand. Now, use it to improve your knowledge base and success, and schedule a lunch and learn with your team. The library of episodes grows each week. My passion is to be the catalyst of the storehouse of wisdom and knowledge that exists in the aftermarket and serve it up for you in this powerful digital audio space. Hey, thanks for being here, and by your support, you keep the wheels churning for both you and me. Now listen to Improving Customer Loyalty with Jody DeVere, Greg Skolnik, and John Eppstein. Here we go. And this is the first inaugural Town Hall. Excited about it, and I wanted to thank you all for being here. Let's jump into the purpose we're all here, the Town Hall, and let me introduce my guests. Jody's the CEO of Ask Patty. Very, very well-known brand in our industry. Jody works with automotive retail locations to become certified female-friendly. And it's all about learning how to create a culture and experience that attracts and retains loyal women customers. And what are we talking about today? How to create loyal customers. And Jody, I thought you were just so perfect to be on. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Carm, for having me.
Jody and I did a podcast in 2016. It was episode 81. If anyone wants to hear me and Jody have a great discussion, episode 81. Next is Greg Skolnik. Now, in my screen, he's in the top right corner.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hey, buddy.
He's from Motorworks in Rockville, Maryland. He owns and manages, of course, Motorworks. It's a 4-day-a-week business. He is certified as a master automobile technician and holds the prestigious L1 Advanced Engine Performance and Emission Analysis certification. In November of 2004, Greg also received his AAM from Automotive Management Institute. Congratulations on that, Greg. And Greg and I did a one-on-one in episode 46. And I loved him so much that I invited him back. In episode 63, we had talked about business coaching. And then my most favorite subject, Greg came back and we did a roundtable on the E-Myth. And boy, that was great. That was episode 69. So if you type in Greg's name in my website, you'll see 3 episodes come up. Thanks for that, Greg. And then John Eppstein. John is the owner of John's Automotive here in San Diego. And he admits he was a better tech than a businessman, but did something about it. And you know, that takes put the ego on the shelf attitude. That was really good, John. One thing he credits for his success is making his customer his main focus. Oh, I think you're all here for the right reasons. John was honored as the 2016, get this now, just last year, the Napa ASE Technician of the Year.
Good job.
Congratulations,
awesome.
man. Yeah. He's been in business since 1998, and he and I had an episode together, episode 119. the premier town hall, the automotive aftermarket, talk about improving customer loyalty at the shop. It almost sounds like a New Year's resolution, doesn't
Should
it?
be everyone's.
So how do you really, gang, how do you define customer loyalty?
Well, first of all, the word loyalty is kind of strange in this particular situation because it's kind of like an eggshell. I mean, your customers are really, they're going to be loyal to you as long as you have that relationship with them and they feel comfortable. And it's so fragile. You have to respect this because if you BS somebody, they're going to know like right there and it's done. So as far as loyalty is concerned, we kind of like look at this. I know we talk about loyalty programs and buy one, get four or whatever, the oil change cards and all this. All of that is great, but that's all money-based stuff. I'm sort of the theory that in order to really have a loyal following, you have to provide a commitment to your particular mission and how you carry yourself, the culture of your business. And therein lies where I think you're going to make everybody do really well. It is a symbiotic relationship, okay? We are in the relationship business here. Think of it this way. Remember the TV show Cheers, right? The tagline that's in the song of Cheers was, you want to go where everybody knows your name. And it's the bottom line is that when somebody walks in the door, in your front door, and you say, hey, Mrs. Smith, how you doing? They light up. If you go, I'll be with you in a minute, or if you don't acknowledge them when they walk in the door, you're shooting yourself in the foot right at the beginning. All of these little systems that we've built over the years to take care of people, it's all based on putting yourself in their shoes and viewing you from their eyes. And that takes a little practice.
Jody, is it treating people like you want to be treated?
Not necessarily. I think that it's about a commitment to culture. In that word culture, because I think the shop owner or the owners or the management are the ones that have to carry that mission of culture. And it's a decision that you make to be consistent in delivering the ultimate customer experience. And culture has a lot of variations, and it can be very subtle in just like the greeting, but it is a culture of really understanding how important your customers are to your business and doing things right and the same way. I think consistency is it's like, okay, this week we're going to have a good week and I'm going to be good to the customers, but then something happens. So the owners and the management of shops really need to make a decision to have a culture mission and to maintain it and to train for it. I do not think, in my opinion, that automatically your employees know how to deliver that. They need training. So, we could talk about that a little bit. It doesn't necessarily come naturally or, just because I said I was going to do it doesn't mean I will do it. Need to be training and ongoing training and have a process in your business to checks and balances, which is one of the questions you're going to ask me about that.
Jody, when you do research on certifying people for Ask Patty, do you look at
very much so?
Big?
Actually, we interview every client. We look at prior to certification, we're looking at all their reviews. The culture is about how they present themselves in their market. So we research how they're presenting themselves. This could be something as simple as what they're putting on their website, what they're posting on Facebook. These are all touch points, what we call touch points that consumers get an opinion about you. Right. And so it's very important that you have that consistent message going out to them. And the way I put it, it's sort of like your Cheers statement is who do I want to be known for? What do I want to be known for as a company? Right. What do I want to be known for? And you need to make a list. And one of the things that I can say, if you're good community citizens in your market, that's something that's part of loyalty and customer retention. So how are you delivering that message? So I think it's really about really looking at your own business with new eyes to see, what are you known for? What are you known for now? And what do you want to be known for? And then create a mission around that and then set out to do that. And know that consumers have many eyes on you in many ways. not just the experience they have at the shop, although that's the ultimate important one. They actually learn a lot about you. Sometimes they won't come in at all or call you because the image that you're and your branding image out in the public that you're not paying attention to maybe necessarily is delivering the wrong message.
John, how about you? How do you define customer loyalty? Do you have a great customer service story that defines your culture?
Yeah, it's really tough to gauge that. We have a regular, discussion with everybody on, we need to take care of the customers. They're got to be our main focus. And it's, we get a new employee that comes in and we go over that. And a lot of them fall back on their old experiences. And, we have had a case the other day where somebody came in and they had come in while we had a special going on and they couldn't get in during the special. It was 2 days later. And my new advisor said, oh, well, we can't honor that. And I kind of stuck my head out the door and is like, hey, he was here. He knows about it. Let's just handle it. And he was like, well, they wouldn't let me do that at my last place. A lot of people bring that baggage from their last place of employment. Yeah, loyalty, like Greg said, you can't put your thumb on it. It's hard to gauge because just like he said, one little thing goes wrong and somebody's out the door. And if you're not paying attention to that, it could be 2 years down the road before you go, wow, Miss Green hasn't been in, and you'll never know why. So, some of the things that we do is we call everybody 3 days after they've been in and we talk to them. We ask them, hey, how was your visit? How did things go? What can we do better? And some of my best ideas for things that we do for our customers came from asking our customers what they wanted. And not all of them are going to tell you, they'll say, oh, cheaper prices. That's one we hear a lot. When we get that, it comes back to, hey, we need to do a better job of selling ourselves and selling the value and, what we're providing.
Great. I love it. It is a great start for our first premier town hall. You can have a great culture, but how do you really measure where customer loyalty is? Do you measure it in the numbers? How do you do it? I'm just so curious to find out how you put your finger on that measurement.
It's a combination of things. In our world, trying to come up with a metric like John was talking about is really difficult. We did develop a client trending tool. It's a metric that's measuring over the last 12 months from whatever today is when I'm doing this, how many clients were serviced, how many cars were serviced, and the age of the car, the mileage of the car. So we're watching these trends as the cars get older because people are holding on to them longer and they don't break down as much. How many clients we've actually serviced. So this tool goes 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. So basically I'm looking at 3 years worth of data and you can see the numbers going up or down, whether we have more clients or less clients. Whether we have more cars or less cars. It's not just about the number of ROs that we're doing, because it's important to have those metrics, because it really, what it's telling me, well, we're in the Washington, D.C. area, and it's very mobile, meaning people are moving in and out all the time. And our particular demographic is primarily, it's like 65% women. They're between 45 and 55 generally. But they're getting older, and they've been with us over 17 to 20 years. And so these people are stopping driving. Unfortunately, some are, gone from the planet now, and we're getting newer clients in. But the concept is, are we getting enough new clients in to compensate for the ones that are leaving? So that's where the metric part comes in. The second part, Carm, has to do with reading the testimonials. What's the statement behind their statement, so to speak? We rarely have a problem testimonial. We do. You can't be all things to all people. What you read between the lines is what I hear a lot in our company, and that is that my next car has to be a car they work on, because we only do Honda and Toyota brand vehicles. So Honda and Acura and Toyota and Scion and Lexus. So the decision of the car that they're going to buy has to be based on us working on it. I'm telling you, that person's loyal. Okay. If they're making that decision based on that, they love us. Okay. So the second part of that is every so often you'll see something where it says they're a little pricey, but they're worth every penny. Bingo. I got an evangelical there,
Yes, you do. It's exciting to hear what you're doing, and I have a follow-up question for you. As you say, you looked at your trends. Are there customers' names attached to those? Are you actually then extrapolating that out and looking at an individual customer value?
Absolutely. Well, it's two separate reports because the trending one just gives me the numbers, how many, okay? There's a second report that we've created that pulls the data out of our shop management system that gives me the specifics. And I can set the time period for that. Say if I want people that haven't been in 18 months or between this date and this date, and it will show me all of the data, including my remarks field in this SMS system. So the idea is that, and I can edit that from there, which is awesome. My son specially built this thing for me, but it gives me the ability to sort by dollars, by date, by alphabetized, all that kind of stuff. So those kind of things are, if you can get a tool, get a handle around the data that you're already collecting, I think it's really important. If you can actually call these people from that. So
I absolutely love what you just said. In fact, I think it's almost worthy to have another episode on how to extrapolate the data and how to manage it. And I'm not sure how many SMS systems have good trending reports. In maybe it's just this CSV file and you're doing pivot tables or something. I don't know. But Jody, measurement, customer.
Yeah, so I'll speak to that, and I would love to be on another episode, and I can recommend some great guests. There are many tools available to shops today to help them. In the old days, everything was done on paper, and then you had spreadsheets, and some of the systems out there are a little annotated in the data, because we're living in a data-driven world now. I believe in that. That's how I run my business. I'm all on the cloud. I'm cutting edge because it makes your life so much easier to run your business based on facts rather than assumptions. You know, and all due respect to reading your testimonials, that's great soft information. It's great feedback, but that data isn't helping you make good business decisions that are based on facts. So, and I happen to also work in the new car dealer world, and they have many tools that help them. They know exactly where each client that's ever come in for service is in that loyalty or retention mode. And there are tools available, and I don't want to you'd be a spokesperson for different brands, but I know that Kukui has some very powerful tools in their back-end system and several other suppliers that are on the higher edge of the technology that will help you perform better because you'll have the data that you need to make those decisions that are tracking your clients, for instance. And there's another tool that you have too that's been around for a long time that I don't talk about often, but that can be very powerful for you, and that's call tracking technology, where you use the 800 numbers for them to call in because you can track the activity that's happening because the first contact typically is that it's not a walk-in. They're calling up, and some appointment setting tools as well. And so having really great tools to extract the data and put it into what I call high-level reporting, like you said, the top-level reporting, so that you can manage your business and then share that data and the information that comes as a result with your team and then set goals to help increase that. Like I always call it, you know, in all businesses, you have the clients that are falling off the back of the wagon. And if you don't know how many are falling off compared to how many new clients you're acquiring and how many are your core business, it's really hard to know how to market. How do you drive loyalty? It could be through loyalty programs, but maybe they're the wrong people you're going after. Maybe you already have a really loyal base and you need new customer acquisition, and that's where you need to spend money in 2017. So, you know, without going on and on, I think that data-driven decision-making for shop owners is becoming really a primary thing that you need to have in your business.
It's all about
the data. Yeah.
It is so amazing. We're in this, computerized world. We've been saving data on servers and on disk drives for so long, and people are cracking the code, and they're doing so well, being able to regurgitate analysis for us. And I think you're right about Todd's company, Kukui. John, we've got a lot of the, if you will, the heavy side, the analysis side, but I know you're a giver and you do exceptional things for your customers. What are the things that you want customers to remember you by, so this is what you do?
Well, it's hard to put just this is what everybody likes. And that's one of the things that I've done a good job of, is just listening to my customers. And that's what we kind of stress at with the advisors, is you got to get to know each customer. One customer wants to know the details. One customer wants to know the price. One customer wants to know how they're getting home. So everybody's just a little different. You got to ask the questions, then you got to listen. That's probably the most important part, is listening to your customers, which we do a very good job of. I mentioned, we do follow-up calls, and we had a guy that came in and we did a follow-up call with him, and he said, everything was great. We said, well, what can we do different? He says, well, you guys have all these great things for people, but you don't have anything for my dog. And I kind of laughed and thought about it for a sec, and you're right. So after that, we have toys for dogs. We have treats for dogs. And, people that own dogs tend to be really fanatical about their dogs. And if you're a dog friendly place, they're all about it. We'll give people rides home with their dogs, and, they're shocked. You'll let my dog in your car? Well, yeah, not a problem, with, whatever it takes. So yeah, everybody's just a little different. Some people, they walk by and they walk in and they're like, car's fine, just coming to get candy. We got this big old candy bowl on the front desk, and people just love it. So it's just a combination of things. There's never a silver bullet. There's never one thing that will get everybody liking you and talking about you. We walk our customers to the cars, and we have reviews where people say, oh, everything was great, and they even walked me to my car. Who would think that would be such a great deal? But I've been at shops where they hand the customer the keys and go, oh, your car's out in the lot. And then they got to go find it. And then they got to walk back in when there's a car parked in front of it, or it doesn't start. So
you're saying warm, friendly, engaging, to the point that I could even say unexpected, nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a car there for 3 days, and the customer was worried about how they get into work. We drive to their house, we pick them up, we drop them off at work. At the end of the day, we go pick them up, take them home. These are just those little things that they talk about it, and when you got a room full of people, that are waiting to pick up their cars, and you have discussions like that. We've had people that have said, first time customers that are sitting there waiting for their car, and when they're done, they're like, I'm really glad that I sat here for the last hour, because I got to see your interactions with your other customers, and I really like the way you handle it. So, don't be afraid to do that. Spend the time with people. Don't worry about the other people that are in your waiting room.
I wrote down two words. I wrote down concierge service. And Jody, I bet you could go on for an hour to tell us about concierge service, especially with what and how you work at the dealership level. But I think that needs to be an episode we need to talk about one day, because I'm interviewing people, twice per week, and I know so many in the industry. And I continue to hear about these kinds of services, but I'm not sure they're packaging or branding it as a value add. And I think concierge service is going to be the right, if you will, little umbrella piece that I think will make shops stand out someday. Now, Greg, you're so detailed that even the color of the wall matters,
Absolutely.
Right?
Well, everything has a purpose. If you ever come to my shop, it's a small shop. I mean, again, we only work Monday through Thursday, 200 days a year. That's it. And this is what we do. And so every aspect of what the customer experience is managed, is aware. It's like I called it, I think I might have even said this in the first time we were together, 360 degree touch points. So we're all the way around every aspect of it. So it's not an easy process to do. It takes time. but the color of the wall, the imagery on the wall, the photography, I have all my own photography on the wall there, and it's just the way it's laid out, the color of the ceiling, the type of lighting that lights up various things. It's a mood that you're creating. It doesn't look like a shop in the front office. Here's the bottom line. In order for somebody to feel good about coming to your place on a regular basis, they have to be comfortable with you. I started out as a technician, and I'm totally comfortable with grease up to my elbows and in a shop with all the smell and all that. I'm comfortable with that, but they're not. Yeah. They work in an office somewhere, and they want it to be clean, and they don't want to see grease marks everywhere, and I don't blame them. So in order for us to do that, we have to look at it through their eyes and then make the adjustments. Subtleties. It's something that you really just have to sort of turn up your sensitivity and get into what is it that they're seeing. What is there too many signs? How many times do you see the word no? I've been in shops where it says no checks, nobody beyond this point. No. And it's like, what's the message you get to the person? It's like, don't come here is what the message. So it's like, really? So realistically, you have to make it warm and inviting. Okay. So that means, you've seen shops that have the cookie baking, which makes the smell, which is awesome. We used to do aromatherapy in our shop before with that because they don't want to smell grease and oil. The sound quality in the office, and I have some work to do on that because you hear the shop in the background. But the sound quality, the visuals, we have two screens, one very large screen that runs 24/7. It has 125 slides we created on PowerPoint. It costs nothing other than the screen to go up there, and it just flips around. It's timed specifically. Everything is color coordinated with all this stuff, and every aspect of this is tailored for these people to respond comfortably. They won't even know it. They won't even realize it. But what they do is they get that warm fuzzy. And I know John talked about walking them to their car. We deliver the car to the front door and walk them out. If they need rides somewhere, they set up for our free loaner cars. We have loaner cars. We give them for free. They don't even have to put gas in it. I mean, we're making it super convenient for them. And so anything you look at where it's not simple for them, you got to make it easy for them.
With women, the experience that she has with you, and that can be the beginning of her experiences when she's looking for a shop or going to have, thinking about she needs a repair or services, to the experience she has on the phone call, which I will say hands down is the thing that shop owners need to work on the most, the way the phone is answered. Do not put me on hold without asking me what I want. And don't go, just about that, because the shop environment is very noisy. But to the experience, when the meet and greet, the whole experience, keeping in touch with her during the repair so she's not nervous, the communication you have with her as her partner rather than talking down to her. And I love that you're talking about these subtleties like body language, like talk to me, look me in the eye. Really, don't rush me. Okay, this is important. I'm getting ready to spend money with you. And I loved your description of your waiting room area and that experience. And because those are really important to consumers. And by the way, even though I'm talking about women, it matters to men too.
Yeah,
it does. So if you can keep the women happy who are much more picky, and I'm going to take a pause here and share something because typically on these calls, it's mostly guys tend to not see those subtleties. That was a very important point that you made. And so I always recommend bringing a woman, and not your wife or someone that works in the industry, to actually look at your waiting room and your process and give her feedback. Someone who works in retail would be good. Or just a mom, how do you want? I mean, she's hassled, or a professional woman. Have her tell you what she thinks of that environment, because in most cases, and I'm really not joking, men don't see it. They do not see the stain on the floor. They do not see that all the magazines are Field and Track and Outdoor magazine. They don't that sends a message. I did a mystery shop of a very large client at one of their locations. They have over 200 locations, and I went out there, And all the magazines, they had a lot of women's magazines, but they were all the same one, Soap Opera Times. Soap Opera Times. And the interesting part about this location is it was in an area where like Blue Cross of California is located, like high rises. It was like a professional area. And really close. So you would think it would be a lot of professional people. And I'm like really offended because is that what you think of me? That all I do is sit around and eat bonbons and read Soap Opera Times? So be careful. You need to have a new pair of eyes and not your own, or don't have the guys sit around and tell you, because you'll get some really good ideas. I will give this away for free. There's a really great thing that all shops can do, whether you have 2 restrooms or 1 restroom, is put a sign on the back of the door that says, if you need a diaper for your child, we have them in the front. Ask for them.
That's a good idea.
Because it sends a really strong message to moms that, one, you care. And every woman that goes in that restroom and reads that sign is going, oh, that's so cool that they think about that they have baby wipes and diapers for emergencies. And by the way,
and you may not even ever give one away.
That's right.
At least
and also a lot of dads you're noticing are the ones in the millennials and younger. They're the ones handling the kids a lot of the time, and it sends a great message to them too that you really are concerned about making the kids that come in the shop. Just like I love the dog thing, by the way. When all else fails, do a routine around dogs. That always makes people happy. So
there's a comment here from William from Myers Superstore in Michigan. He says, in quotes, aggressive hospitality. That is a very interesting definition. I love to use the words bold italic in how I attack the world and how I look at things. And I love that aggressive hospitality. Thank you for that, William. Referrals. We had mentioned referrals a little while back, and is referrals a piece of customer loyalty today?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say referrals. I'm sorry. Reward programs. I meant to ask a reward program.
I hate them, but there is no such thing as a regular credit card. It's just every one of them is a rewards card. So even if you don't subscribe to the rewards process, you're still paying for it somewhere in the price of whatever it is you're buying, because that's how it's funded, right? But as far as rewards are concerned, some people are having a great deal of luck with that kind of stuff. My particular business model is not based on price. I really try to stay out of that. Now, we do give away Greg Bucks. I have my own little Greg Bucks with my face on it. But we give those away for.
Are you happy with the color of your Greg Buck?
The color of the Greg Buck is important because in the paper that it's printed on is important because it has to have a tactile feel to it, and it has to have value to it. It can't just be a piece of white paper. It is on vellum, and it's thick. So yes, I'm telling you, listen, I just got a sidebar here.
I love it.
The bathroom fan in my restroom, I specifically went and found the loudest one I could find. And we put a sweep on the door underneath. And you know why? Because if it's too quiet in the restroom, people have a hard time. So they need to have it loud.
Yes.
So that it drowns out. I mean, think about it. That's kind of that's the level I'm talking about, paying attention to what's going on. They need to have it just make a lot of noise. Nobody knows what you're doing. In there. You don't have to turn on the faucet. It's like,
What Greg is talking about is Disney.
It's totally Disney. This is totally Disney. And you just got to look at it from all the way around the process. Disney is not inexpensive. They charge a lot of money. Okay. And they provide that great Disney experience, right? And most of the people,
they look at everything,
like
every detail, every view, every angle. I went to Disney Institute, spent 2 days down there, and they toured us through the Magic Kingdom in Orlando. And they said, when you walk around this corner and you see this view, this was engineered
exactly
like that. And so you're saying all the incredibly great things. Now, you have a rewards loyalty program with Greg Bucks they feel important. John, do you do anything like that?
We don't have an actual rewards program. Anybody that sends us a referral, they get a thank you letter signed by me with a free oil change. We have the John Bucks. Got my ugly mug on it. If we are 10 minutes late with getting somebody their car, they get some John Bucks. We'll even go so far as to, we'll see somebody roll up out front and we'll walk out and we'll say, "Oh, Mrs. Jones, here, you give these bucks to your driver for her, bringing you here." So they have lots of uses. So we don't have an actual rewards program. However, like Greg said, we're not we're not all about the price. We're all about the service and all of that. So we do give some discounts. They're small. We don't give stuff away. But yeah, you do need to reward your customers when they do good things throughout the year. We have, like in February, we give out roses the entire month. Everybody gets a rose, so it's not, what you would call a rewards program per se, but the customers remember that stuff.
Those are such great touches. What I hope this episode does serve up to people is to not think outside the box, but break the box and do something creative. I mean, obviously, there's if you're in a network or in a 20 group, all you have to do is ask, "Hey, I need a clever new idea for February." Now, Jody, you work with big clients and small clients. What do you hear, and what is your recommendation on reward programs?
Okay, so this is true story. I was in line at a CVS behind a woman carrying a Louis Vuitton bag, and for guys, that cost about $1,200. And she had a whole 2 handfuls of coupons that she was working on at the counter. Took forever. And at the end, she said, "I just saved $37 and put her wallet away and walked out. So I counsel my clients that, and I know that the word coupon, for those of you who want to have, are not the lowest price, you have to see coupons and rewards programs from that point of view. That it used to be with the Louis Vuitton bag. That's what she bragged about. Bragging rights were that I own a Porsche, or I have especially in California in certain areas, bragging rights. Not anymore. Now it's how much money did I save and how smart am I? They have, extreme couponing is one of the most popular shows, and there's websites and everything. You have to understand what drives them. And so you have to give them an opportunity to have that experience with you where they gleefully walk away and go, "Woohoo, I win." And it can be in the form of appreciation where, written appreciation notes or some type of reward like the roses during February. But that's especially for women. So you need to kind of build that into your programming through the years. And since she is probably, in most cases, making the final decision on the spend with you, especially a major spend, you need to reward her. And coupons are a form of rewards. Have a ladies' day once a month or once a week where she gets something special. It doesn't have to be a coupon, but maybe you give free manicures on that day and invite a manicurist. And there's a lot of ways to do it. But the most important thing is for it to be consistent. This is a place that does all the things that we talk about, and I'm rewarded for my business because everybody else is rewarding me. Talbot's is rewarding me. By the way, I'm a big proponent of rewards programs. I take advantage of all of them in my own personal life because it's fun. It's like a challenge.
Rewards, coupons,
they can be. They can be. You need how you position them. It's how you position them. And you know what? When I'm talking about coupons, I'm not talking about the ones that you see in the auto industry because don't give me a brake coupon. How boring is that? Give me something interesting. Like if I come in and I do business with you during this period, you're going to donate $10 to the charity of my choice. Yeah. That's a reward. That's incentive. Right? Or something like that. Like, I don't know if you guys did brakes for breasts, so the Autotex Pink wiper blades. I did a huge program with that in October, and it was for my client, which is an oil change, Valvoline Instant Oil Change. It was their highest level of interaction doing pink coupon, it was the double donation to and also the pink wiper blades. So I think you have to innovate there with couponing and rewards and make the call to action something that's more relevant and resonates better and is more in line. Like have a dog coupon, bring your dog in for a picture and we'll give you bucks, So you want to relate to your clients in each little market sort of has a different culture around what's that reward.
Thank you so much, Jody DeVere and John Eppstein and Greg Skolnik. And I want to give my audience the quote of the week, and I always did on our Facebook Live. And the quote of the week this week for everyone is this. It's from Bill Bernbach, and Bill was a very famous advertising guy. Here's his quote: "An important idea not communicated persuasively is like having no idea at all." And I think it lends itself to what we're talking about today. So let's go around the room. Give me 1 minute, a quick tip, an idea to improve customer.
I got one. Well, first of all, it always starts with your staff. I mean, you have to hire the right people. You have to train the right people. They have to be on board your culture. They have to understand what it is you're trying to accomplish. They need to pay attention to what's going on and listen to these customers and clients. We call them clients. Listen to them, because we'll pick up clues and cues. This person is getting ready to have a baby. This person is having surgery next week. This person is going blah, blah, blah. So every time we get one of those, we've got a boatload of cards and we fill them out. Everybody signs it. Everybody in the shop. Our customer care coordinator, Sarah, she's lovely. She wanders around the shop with the guys and they just sign it, and we send it to them. Some of the coolest responses from people is like, one guy's like, "I just got home from the hospital and I opened my mail and there is this card from you guys. I can't believe no shop would ever do that." Mm-hmm. It's the right thing to do. They're part of our family. So cards are not expensive, folks. Just do it. Okay. Just pay attention and do it.
Great tip. And by the way, this guy's also a part-time business coach for Who Elite, right? Mm-hmm. Jody, your tip.
Well, relationships definitely matter in this business. And I think I would just like to emphasize the fact that hire people who are people. Sometimes advancing your technician to the service advisor role is not a good idea because they like to talk in technical terms. So hire people that have great people skills, and this will pave the way to great customers that really love people. By the way, there's a test that you can give people that you're thinking about employing that will tell you if they're good at that, if you don't even know yourself. So call me and contact me. I'll give you that information. Really, relationships really matter in this business because those loyal customers are relationships that you're building on every year by delivering great relationship to them. They're making them feel good like you did with that guy in the hospital. I think that's awesome.
How great is that? Thanks. Great advice, Jody. Thank you. John?
Well, I think probably the most important thing is don't just rely on one thing. I sat down last year and looked at my marketing, and I thought, I'm going to write out all my marketing. As I got into it, I thought, well, I got to write down all the unconventional marketing things, whether it's the candy bags or, the flowers for February or, whatever it may be. And I started writing, and a page and a half later, I came up with all the things that we do for our customers on a daily basis. Because you never know what the customer is going to remember. You want to make sure that the customer remembers something positive, at the end of the experience, and they're all going to be different. Like that person that wrote in their review, they walked me to my car, or they had my favorite snack. They have dog treats, whatever it is. Talk to your customers, ask your customer. Like Greg said, your waiting room is important. Some of my furniture came because my customer said, "Hey, these chairs are awesome, but I got nowhere to put my coffee." Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. So, talk to your customers and listen to them. And, you don't obviously need to give everybody a Ferrari, as a loaner car. Our customer referral program, when somebody refers a customer, they get a free oil change. So two of my advisors start off the conversation with, "Hey, Mrs. Jones, how do you like to never have to pay for another oil change again?" And, they get their attention really quick. And they explain how the referral program works. And we've had several customers that don't pay for oil changes. They, send people to us on a regular basis. And some people do it, some people don't. But yeah, we have several programs like that. And everybody, gravitates towards something different. We have little things for key tags, something like that. And so the more you have to offer your customers, I think the better off you'll be.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time,